welcome to another video. It is Thursday, May 18th, and I only know the date because I just turned in a paper and I had to put the date on the top of the paper. But you can probably tell from the title of this video that I am going to do a Q&A today. I posted this picture, I'm not kidding, like a month ago, and I'm just finding time to sit down and answer all these questions. I did get a ton of questions. I think there's 86. So what I'm gonna do is I kind of look through them. I'm just gonna go through and answer the ones that I thought were fun or frequently asked. And we'll see how far we get. I don't want this video to be 10 hours long because I know personally these Q&As can get super long. And there were also a lot of questions that I've answered a bunch of times in my other Q&A videos. So go check those out if you want. But like I said, I don't want this to get super long. So we're just gonna get started. First question, Desb ___, my girl Des. She asked, what's your favorite muscle group to train and why? And honestly, there's no muscle group I don't like training. I don't like training arms that much or chest, but my two favorites are probably glutes and shoulders. And if I had to narrow it down to one, it would probably be shoulders, just because there's I'm such a douchebag, guys, and seeing the pump, when you're lifting shoulders, or at least when I am, you can see the veins come out and see your shoulders literally grow as you're working them because of the pump and stuff. So I love hitting shoulders. And there's just something about coming out of the gym with noodle arms that there's just nothing like it. And then she also asked, if you could be good at any sport, what would it be? Pole vaulting. I think I said, someone asked what Olympic sport I would want to do in another Q&A, and it's pole vaulting. Just because I think I'm such an adrenaline junkie, and I think it would be so cool. And I ran track, and I always wanted to pole vault, and just fly through the air. I don't know. I think it would be so freaking cool and fun. Carly.fitness asked, how did you decide to be with Unico? Were you with any other supplement companies beforehand? And I actually get asked this a lot. I was not with any officially affiliated with any other supplement companies before. I definitely been reached out to by other supplement companies, but for me, with not just a supplement company, but any company, I'm not gonna affiliate myself with the brand unless I can fully 100% support them. And all the other brands I've been reached out to by, it would be I love their protein but not their pre-workout, or love their BCAAs but not their protein, or I just didn't feel I meshed well with the company. And with Unico, I actually met Lance, the owner, at the LA Fit Expo. And he afterwards sent me some stuff. We just got along really, really well. And he was kind of telling me about the company. I had no intention of being affiliated. I'd never even heard of Unico before. And he sent me some of this stuff after. And I freaking loved it. I was not expecting to like the protein. Like I said, I had never heard of it. And I fell in love with everything. And then he reached out to me after that and was like, hey, we would love to have you as an athlete. And I was like, let me think about it. And I realized I love the team. I love that it's a small company, and I've been able to watch it grow over the past few months since I've been affiliated with them. All the girls on the team are freaking amazing. It's a small team, so I feel I really know all the other athletes, and that's really cool. And I love Lance, the owner, and I can be close with him because it's small. And so for me, it just comes down to loving everything, loving what the company stands for, and loving everyone affiliated with the brand. So that's that. Fit.skater said, can you get results without tracking macros? And the answer is 1000% definitely you can hit your goals without tracking macros. Especially if you're consistent with your food choices. I think tracking macros can be a great tool, especially if you are someone just getting into fitness and nutrition and all that kind of stuff, because a lot of people don't understand portion sizes or what's in certain foods. But if you have a sense of what your body needs to maintain, to lose weight, to gain weight. Like, you 1000% can make progress without tracking macros. Okay, Fabian BW asked, it's clear you should place a lot of carbs and protein around workout, but how about fats? And I got a lot of questions about meal timing, so I'm just gonna kind of like go over that here. So yes, after you work out, you do want a lot of fast digesting carbs and protein to fill your muscles back up with glycogen and make sure like protein synthesis is going and you're not going catabolic or something. But I think there is a lot of people who are like, no fat post-workout. And honestly, if you're on super low macros, like, yes, that makes sense. You wanna put a lot of your carbs and protein around your workout. And therefore your fats go in other parts of the day. But if you have decently high fat macros, it doesn't really, you don't need to have like no fat after you work out. I know for me, I usually have like 15-ish grams of fat after I work out, like 15, 20. Like, it's not the end of the world as long as you're not eating like 50 grams of fat right after you work out. You're probably fine. And even then, it's not the freaking end of the world. It's just that fat slows down the digestion of the carbs and protein, but as long as you're not eating like an excess amount of it, you're fine. So I wouldn't really worry too much about eating fat post-workout. KSNYC asked, where/when do you plan on moving after graduation? Do you want to live with a roommate or roommates? So my job that I'm starting after I graduate is in San Diego. It's a little bit north of here, like, so it'd be like a 45-minute drive without traffic. So I am gonna be moving, but I graduate like a week and a half from today. I walk May 28th, and then I have to take a 3-week summer class. So I'm staying in this apartment probably through July, and then I'll be moving. And yes, I want a roommate because if you did not know, living in San Diego is freaking expensive. And with like a starting salary, it's like not really doable to be paying like $2,000 for rent to live on your own. So yes, I want a roommate. I'm like figuring that out right now. Des might move here, which would be freaking awesome. Alyssa, who you guys know, might be looking for a new place. So there's endless options, and I like having a roommate as long as I have like my own separate room. I like being around people. I think I'd get really lonely since I don't like go out all the time. Like, I like to have someone, I don't know. Courtney Steeble asked a bunch of questions. She said, do you ever want a pet? I actually have a dog at home. She's like my favorite. I've had her since 7th grade. She's a little cockapoo named Sammy. And I want a dog so bad. Like, the minute I'm like settled down, have money, feel like I can take really good care of it, I'm getting a freaking dog. She said, what's your birthday? And are you gonna track macros? Fuck no, I'm not tracking macros on my birthday. I'm not tracking macros that whole week. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I'm not tracking macros on my birthday unless I like end up being on prep or something, but I doubt that'll happen. And my birthday is August 31st. I will be 23 years old. If you could only have one for the rest of your life, what would it be? Almond butter or peanut butter? Almond butter. Pancakes or waffles? Pancakes. Burgers or sushi? Ooh, that's hard. Sushi. There's like, yeah, I think sushi. Rock stars or Diet Coke? Oh, damn. I'm gonna have to go with Diet Coke because I feel like when I like go out to dinner and stuff, I like get Diet Coke. Like, it would be weird to get a Rock Star. And I probably should be like cutting back on the Rock Stars anyways. And Diet Coke, but like, we'll just go with Diet Coke, okay? How much % of your diet should be carbs and how much do you have? And it really depends on like your macros. Like, I don't think you should do macros in terms of percentages. Like, my percentages are always changing with my macros because like my protein stays consistent, whereas like and like my carbs and fats increase. So like if I was doing ratios and like my macros increasing, I would be eating like 200 grams of protein. Like, that'd be freaking ridiculous. So, and I think it really depends on like who you are as a person. Like, some people do way better with fat and some people do way better with carbs. Let me look at what mine are currently because I have no idea. I don't even pay attention. Right now, my carbs are 57%, my fat's 25%, and my protein is 18%. So, and again, it's always changing. Oh, this one's relevant because I just poured myself some BCAAs, but Morgan_Fitsta says, when do you take BCAAs? Only during workouts, and do you take them on non-training days? Also, what are you going to school for? So obviously, I don't only drink them during workouts. BCAAs are not necessary. I honestly just take them because they make my water taste better. But I would say, like, if you want them to be super effective, they're best to take if you're going like long periods without eating, or you are training like fasted, like doing fasted cardio or something. That's when they're really important to take. Oh, and I'm in school. I'm an econ and business administration double major, but my job post-college is in direct response digital marketing. As if you could only shop at one clothing store for the rest of your life, what would you pick? I want to say like Lululemon, but like I don't think that would be appropriate. Like, what would you do if you had to go to like a nice dinner or something? Like show up in workout clothes? Like, no. Probably Urban, because I feel like Urban Outfitters, because I feel like they do have some workout clothes. They sell like pajamas, they sell like bras and underwear, and they sell cute clothes. So like, you really can't go wrong. Folly08 says, how much cardio do you do per week? I don't do cardio right now because my goal is to build muscle. So I would say this for anyone, but if you're in a bulking phase or even maintaining and planning on cutting in the future, not doing cardio is your best option, because then you can use cardio as a tool to help you cut, versus if you're doing like 45 minutes of cardio a day and then you decide to cut, like you're gonna end up having to do like 3 hours of freaking cardio, which is ridiculous. So right now I'm not doing any cardio. If I do, it's like 10 minutes on like the bike or walking on the treadmill while I like write an Instagram caption after I work out. Okay, next question. I feel like this is getting really long. Fuel for Strength said, do you ever have days where you get restrictive urges or eating disorder thoughts? Honestly, no. And one thing I will say is like, it's not something that goes away fast. Like I've been doing really well for a few years now. And like the closest thing to like an eating disorder thought I think I have is just like really bad body image days where I'm like, I just feel like a blob. But that's just part of like bulking, gaining weight, and I think it's something like everyone goes through, but I don't correlate that to like my self-worth or like wanting to eat less or anything. It just kind of is like a thought. So no. Alana Jane asked, a few times you mentioned that you have a low fiber diet. Why? Okay, so I know I talk a lot about not eating a lot of fiber, like eating lower fiber foods, but I do not have a low fiber diet. I eat between like 20 and 30 grams of fiber a day, which is like pretty good. But with how many carbs I'm eating currently, I have to watch my fiber intake, because fiber is in carbs, and just like eating not enough fiber can cause you to get like backed up, bloated, constipated, all that stuff. Eating too much fiber does the same thing. So if I were to eat a lot of fibrous foods, like a lot of like vegetables and stuff, like and oats and stuff like that, my fiber could easily be like 70 grams a day, and I would like look like a balloon and probably not go to the bathroom for like a week. Just saying. Beautifully.healthy says, do you track sugar or saturated fat macros? No, I do not. I track my carbs, protein, fat, and fiber. And that is it. Reflourishing asks, how long do you see yourself tracking macros? Honestly, the minute that I stop having that ultimate goal of competing, which takes a lot of like close attention and like attention to detail, I'm not gonna track macros. Like I said it before, I think you can totally make progress, like whatever your goal is, not tracking macros. And I've been tracking for like 2 years now, so I kind of like know what my body needs and what is like in certain foods. So I know that I could like eat really well and reach my goals like without tracking macros, and I don't see a reason to be like weighing out my food and stuff. Like I don't think I need to do that just to like live an overall happy balanced life. So I think like when I stop competing or like having that goal, I'll stop tracking macros. Julia Eliza Blog says, good luck with the final stretch. I just graduated myself. Oh, congrats. I know, I'm so damn close. One final left to go. She asked, what will you miss the most and least about college? So I think I'm definitely going to miss the people most. One thing you take for granted when you're in school is just like, I walk across the street to campus and I like see a bunch of my friends. Or like in my apartment complex, a bunch of friends live here. And also like a bunch of my friends after college are moving like across the country. So I'm definitely gonna miss the people the most. I think what I'm gonna miss the least is just the fact that like with college you don't really get a break, like besides like Christmas, all that kind of stuff, but having an 8 to 5 job, it's like you leave the office on Friday and you're done for the weekend. Whereas with school, it's like over the weekend I'm always studying and all that. Like I always have what I have to do on my mind and I'm always working on something. It's not like school starts and ends like when, it's not like school starts when you're in class and ends when you leave. You're kind of like always doing school. You know what I mean? Like I'm sitting here recording this vlog and I'm like thinking about the final I have to study for. Okay, last question I'm gonna answer. It's actually a couple. Fabulous Fitness says, how are things going with the boy, girly? Well, there is no boy, so that answers your question. I don't know, I'm not gonna go into detail, but all I have to say about that is I tried to make it work for a really long time, and one thing you kind of have to realize is that if something or someone is not making you happy for like that long, they probably never will. They keep saying they're gonna change and they never change. They're probably never gonna change. So, I mean, like I'm doing well, I'm happy, like I have nothing like horrible to say about this person, but I'm single and I'm happy and I'm just doing me and I trust that the right boy will come along. And this is a good one. She said, if you could send one message to all 13 and 14-year-old girls, what would it be? Honestly, when I was that age, I think I had a really hard time just wanting to like fit in and be like everyone else and like do the things that my friends did and enjoy the things that my friends did, dress how my friends did, all of that. And one thing I realized literally only in the last like year is that it is so much fucking better to just be yourself. So that's what I would tell people, is just like embrace who you are, be true to yourself, try to figure out who you are and what you enjoy and stop trying to be like everyone else, because ultimately at the end of the day, you will have better relationships and you can give so much more and you will be so much happier if you are just like staying true to who you are. And the last thing she said is, are you coming to Chicago anytime soon? And actually, yes, I am. I graduate May 28th, and then I think I'm coming to Chicago June 1st through June 3rd or 4th. So I'm not there for a long time because I start my last little summer class June 5th. But I will be there and I'm trying to like figure out my schedule for when I'm home. But comment below if you're from Chicago and would be interested in like doing some sort of meetup. We could just like meet up and get like nothing formal, but like get food or like a workout or something in, because I would love to do that if I have time. And like I know I'll be spending a lot of time with family, but I will be coming back in sometime at the end of July as well. So one of those 2 times we will plan something. But that is all the questions I'm going to answer. There were a lot that actually gave me ideas of like there are things I can answer throughout other vlogs. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. As always, comment, share, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.